All right. So welcome to Wire Rush Racing. I'm Charlie Hawkins. I'm here with Nathan Rector today. Nathan, how are you, bud?
Good. How about
Good?
you?
Oh, I'm doing better than I deserve. I know that much. I got you here today. The rain, it's holding off. We got baseball game tomorrow, and so I'm like, all right, you can rain all day in the morning, but about noon you need to stop because I need to play some. Well, my kid needs to play some baseball. I'm the coach, and I have almost just as much fun, if not more, than the kids do.
Yeah.
So, but no. So, yeah, we got Nathan here today, and then later on, in about a half hour, 25 minutes to half an hour from now, we'll have the Stu Baylor coming on. Looking forward to that. And just remember, this is not just a two-person show here. This is however many people in the world want to watch this show. So we want you guys to comment in the comment section on Facebook, YouTube, wherever you guys are watching that. And if you got questions for Nathan or Stu, and for whatever reason for me, let us know, and we'll get those along and answer your questions. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep peppering this guy with questions and finding on about it. And then if you're watching now, go ahead and share. Let people know that it's on. A lot of people, for example, Eric, he said, man. Of course, he's probably watching the Blues game right now. Blue. Now, go Blues. But let's get the tournament over with so we can watch this. No. But, yeah, Eric, he's like, man, I keep forgetting. And so I sent him a little message saying, hey, Eric, remember this. So anyways, but yeah, share, let people know about it. It's a good time, and it's a lot more of a good time when you guys are with us. So that's that. Nathan, so no big news for anything for you than the last 2 weeks or so?
No.
Nothing?
Mm-hmm.
Nothing to do with ISDE or...
Yeah, I qualified for ISDE.
You qualified for it. Congratulations. We did talk about that last week with Bob First, but... That's why I wanted you in here this week. Actually, I wanted you last week, but you're like, gotta go race, But no, congratulations. And so that's a pretty big deal. I was talking about bucket list items, and that's definitely a bucket list item. Would you agree?
Definitely.
So I guess when did you first know about the ISDE? And I mean, were you like young tyke or like in your teens or?
Rusty Renaud's told me about it, like, ever since I was a kid. Like, he's been to ISDE and
So it's like Legends of Yore, the Rusty Renaud.
Yeah.
And so he's been there.
Yeah, he's been.
Okay. And so where did he go? Do you know?
I'm not 100% sure.
No. Okay. Well, but no. So that's going to be quite a deal. And where is it this year?
Portugal.
Have you started getting on Google Maps and trying to like figure out where the route is and all that stuff? Or
Nope. I haven't.
And then, but a big thing for you though is just getting there, getting your bike there.
Yep.
And places to stay. I don't know who you have to pay for, if you got to pay for your mechanic or if that's whatnot. Do you know any of that yet?
No, I think that's provided with AMA and stuff. So,
but a lot of this stuff's not free.
No.
so there's this big check you got to write, or you got a bunch of little checks you got to write that add up to one big dollar amount. Do you plan on doing any fundraisers or anything like that?
Yeah, me and James King have talked about doing something. We haven't 100% sure yet, but we're talking about it.
Okay, and you're talking in regards to what, like a riding class or
that, and a race, putting on a race.
Oh, okay,
a fun race.
Yeah, for sure. That'd be awesome. Yeah, so I guess does he have? He hosts a race down at the Arkansas Hare Scramble Group, doesn't he? Down in Arkansas.
Yeah, he does.
So you could do there. I don't know. You probably have a number of places around. You could make a whole series out of it. Bring back Enduro Cross here to the Midwest. You should do that.
Not a bad idea.
But no. So that's awesome. And so, yeah, people, reason I'm asking about that is obviously he's going to be needing money. He's going to have, if you guys want to contribute out there at all, whether it be, you're going to have T-shirts.
Yeah, I'll have T-shirts.
I see socks are already out. You can, Mackenzie Tricker, I think. She's having some special ISDE socks. You could do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there's all kinds of stuff. We'll have events and writing schools, possibly all kinds of stuff. He's got a $35,000 check. He's got to figure out how to write, and so it takes a village. And yeah, we're here to help you, Nathan. And so looking forward to that. And we're super stoked for you. One of our own here, heading overseas to literally over. I mean, well, I guess James is going with you. And James couldn't go overseas; he just had to go south. But you both had to go overseas.
Yep.
And that's going to be a pretty awesome experience. So Jealous. Of course, I mean, like, I don't know. I mean, racing's fun. And I think who's really going to have a lot of fun is your dad. Is your dad probably going too?
Yeah, he's going.
See,
And my mom.
So mom especially, she's going to have the most fun.
Yeah.
Because she's like, hey, I'll see you boys in like 6 days.
Yeah.
I'm going to go tour Portugal. Have fun.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we go there a week early so we can walk all the tests and stuff. So she'll go off and do her own thing.
Well, she started running lately, right?
Yeah.
She's like, catch up, boys. Let's go. Come on, right?
Yeah.
So, but no, so that'll be so your whole family, or well, I guess you and your parents are going.
Yeah.
So that's going to be fun. I guess you have to. And then, are you going to try to make any kind of a vacation out of it, or are you just probably all business while you're over there?
Probably all business.
Okay. Yeah, because that's going to be so much fun. So I've been to Spain. Of course, I was on the far side. I went to Barcelona, but I really liked Spain. It was like, because I went from Spain to Denmark to Germany in one trip. And like Spain was like cheap and really clean and nice. And then I went to Denmark, which was super clean, but super expensive, everything. And then Germany was dirty and expensive. It was like the worst. So I imagine Spain's a lot like Portugal. There are a lot of similarities there. That should be so much fun. And when is this?
November.
November. Okay. So, you're not going to miss the 100-miler, are you?
I don't think so. No, I haven't checked all the dates yet. But
you weren't there last year.
No, I wasn't.
I don't know if we. Okay, well, this interview's over, people. No. So Brandon Herford said, Nate, congratulations again, man. That's awesome. I know your dad is proud. So yeah, and and then also Bob First asked, what are the dates of the ISDE?
Yeah. I don't know yet.
November.
No, yeah, definitely November. But
so speaking of your dad and being proud and all that, I got a kick out of it. So your mom posted a little short story on Facebook here recently, tagged you in it. That's how I came across it. So you're at the GNCC this past weekend.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell it, or do you mean just try to?
No, you go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I get a kick out of this. So you were already out there. You came out a week before. You filled in some gaps for me here.
So I just went out a couple days early.
Okay. So a couple days early. So you're out there already. Your dad. So you drove out there with your bike, your equipment, and all that. Your dad, he gets the easy stuff. He just flies in.
Yeah.
But I think it's delayed, right?
Yeah.
So he caught it like a second flight or something like that.
He can only get a flight from Springfield to Atlanta.
Okay.
And then up to Detroit, and then that was going to go to New York. Like he had like 3 different flights that.
Oh, okay. So he didn't drive from like Detroit to New York. He flew to like New York.
No, so he missed the flight from Atlanta to Detroit.
Okay.
Yeah, like they sat on the runway for like an hour.
Oh no.
So he missed the flight from Detroit to New York.
He was just sweating bullets that whole time.
Oh yeah.
So he was actually literally relieved when they said, "All right, you've missed your flight."
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, I know that. Thank you. Now how do we fix this? But so anyways, so he gets on the ground. He gets his rental car. What car did he have?
It was just an Audi or something.
Okay.
Audi.
So he's driving, right?
Yeah.
And he gets pulled over.
Yeah.
Right. And so he gets the cop pulls him over and says, actually, I kind of missing a little parts here. What did the cop ask?
Well, the first cop gave him a ticket.
Well, we didn't know about that yet in your mom's story, which was kind of the kicker was. And so the cop said, like, you need to slow down. Oh, that's what he said. The cop's like, hey, you need to slow down. And he says, yeah, that's the same thing the cop 10 minutes ago told me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he had he was in a hurry, quite a big hurry to get to your race. Was this on Sunday or?
No, this was Friday night. Or no, Saturday.
Saturday?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But no, I got a kick out of that, and just shows your dad's support and the way that he's there for you, which he really has been this year. And I think that's really awesome. I tell a lot of you youngins, that's something that you guys really, I think you do appreciate and treasure, and just it's awesome. So anyways, again, we'll go through this again. Welcome to Y Rush Racing, Charlie Hawkins, Nathan Rector. And again, share, let people know about it, Twitter, Instagram, all that stuff. Share people and let them know about it. And, of course, remember, this is not just a 2-person show here. It is a however many people are out there watching show. So if you want to have a comment, a question, whatever, tell us how dumb we are. Tell us maybe races that are postponed. Help us keep current on the current events. For example, spare parts postponed. So that was supposed to be this weekend, Missouri Hare Scrambles. Not forget the rescheduled date. But anyways, stuff like that, people. Help me and because I don't really do all my homework. I try, but I don't do that great. But anyways, so that's what's going on. And then, so you were at the GNCC this past weekend.
Yes.
I've heard, well, okay, so the previous 2 races, a word I was going to ask this, Stu, but you're here, I'm going to ask this now. A word I keep hearing a bunch for the previous 2 races was technical, right?
Yeah.
But I didn't hear this at all. Nobody really wrote technical about the Tomahawk. Was that considered technical, or was it just because it happened halfway through? It was just like a total curveball.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
Just caught people off guard.
yeah.
Oh,
It just
okay.
started pouring, and it just. I don't know how to explain it. It just was so slick, and
Yeah. No. Okay. So was it in the forecast at all?
yeah, it was.
It was.
Yeah.
Oh, so it wasn't just like a little pop-up shower or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then quick here. Yeah, Jeremiah. I actually cut my hair about 3 hours ago. So yeah, my wife. She didn't like it covering the ears, and so I had to get it up off the ears. But I like it long, so I was like, this is the happy medium here. And then John Scholmeyer, Nathan, will you be going to an Okie Sprint race this year? There have been some really regional pros show up.
I mean, if I'm free on a weekend, then
Yeah,
my
this guy races a bunch. So, we can cover that. So you've been doing all the national enduros,
Yeah.
right? You're 1 point behind first. We don't need to mention names and who's maybe first, right? It's Noah Clark. So 52 points. You have 51.
Yep.
That's, by the way, awesome. And I think that Travis is not far behind. No, James King is like 4th. And then Travis missed a few, but he would be right there with you guys. Or I think he missed the first 1 or 2 or something like that.
Yeah.
I was like, the double A class, Missouri is representing. So way to go there. Well, James King's not exactly Missourian, I know, but we'll claim him. And so you're racing. So the national enduros, the GNCCs, and then you said you might not be doing many more of the sprint enduros, the full gas sprint enduros, not necessarily the Okie sprints, but just between the two, I mean, you're in Missouri,
Yeah.
right? There's the guys that are living out east that won't commit to all 3 because
Yeah.
it's just too much racing. And so the fact that you're here in Missouri, it's like 16. How many hours was it to New York?
16.
Yeah, 16 hours to New York, and he's doing it, right? He's getting after it, and so yeah, you are a busy dude. So yeah, if he says he can't make it because he's busy, that's 100% the truth. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And then we covered those 3 main series that you're doing or we're doing in the case of the full gas sprint enduro. But no, so of the 3, which has been your favorite so far?
Probably national enduros.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And why is that?
I won Louisiana, so
Yeah, you did. And that was the most recent. Yeah, that was the most
Yeah.
recent one.
yeah,
Just because you win?
yeah,
Yeah, because you've been kind of consistently, like you've been until this last round, you got bumped down by to 2nd place in
Yeah.
the GNCC, but like you're consistent like a 4th place.
yeah,
So
in
I mean, is
GNCC,
that
so-
frustrating for you, or
yeah, a little bit. That's
do you feel like you have the speed to be on the top step
yeah,
for sure?
just fitness. It's not quite there, so
Because you owe the full 3 hours.
yeah,
Okay. So I guess fitness is a big thing, and we can talk about that for a bit. You said you have a trainer.
yeah. New trainer I
And-
just started with.
Did you have a trainer previously, or you're just kind of just doing it like Eli Tomac style, you and your dad, or?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, okay.
Just me and my dad.
And so who is your trainer now?
Steve Hatch.
Steve Hatch. Okay. So to me, that didn't ring a huge bell. But then again, I only am current like in the last 3 years. But Steve Hatch is by no means a slouch. He has quite a reputation. Tell me
Yeah.
a little bit about him.
Yeah, he's won a couple overall championships in NEPGs, and he's
Yeah.
been to ISDE multiple times, and he's gold medalist.
Yeah.
So
So no slouch, and he knows what he's doing. And how is he? Do you think he's gonna? What's the one thing he's trying to? Are you hoping to get out of it, or is there multiple things you're trying to get out of by actually having a professional trainer?
multiple things.
So what would be the top? Is it
mindset?
mindset?
Yeah,
And I guess because one thing you were telling me about, you're doing a lot more sprints.
Yeah.
And were you not doing sprints before?
No, not really.
Oh, okay. And is that what are you hoping to get, or does he hoping you get out of doing these sprints that you haven't been?
I think it's just getting the heart rate up and then settling back down, getting up again, stuff like that. So
And maybe more comfort. And you said you're doing like 2-minute sprints. Is
Yeah.
that something like more just getting more comfortable with going fast?
yeah, it's 100%. So,
Yeah. So, we talked about that at the Off-Road Cup with maybe a couple of guests ago. I know for me, like the Off-Road Cup, like I was just doing one lap, so I was pushing myself hard and knew I would take a break.
Yeah.
And so, but I felt a bump in speed after. And it's always told me, hey, Charlie, instead of just going to Hardwood Hills and just riding like 20 miles all at once, maybe you should go with a plan of like training and trying to go do a sprint, like you said, and do it that way. Hey, we got the MX Guru. MX Guru, thank you for joining us again today. And yeah, he is joining us from West Virginia. So that's another thing. If you guys just want to shout out, actually, that's one thing I do want to know is, if you guys are going to have plans, this is you guys out there in the listening audience, I want to know about your plans. If you're going to go race, where are you going to be racing at? If you're going to go ride somewhere, where are you going to ride at? So, for example, me, still not back on the bike yet, so nowhere. Actually, I plan on getting on the bicycle. Maybe if weather's good, I'll try to knock out 30, 40 miles. That's fingers crossed. But no, and you're going to be down in Georgia
this
Yeah.
weekend.
When are you leaving?
Tomorrow afternoon.
Okay, yeah, because I was kind of surprised that you weren't leaving today. You've been leaving on Thursdays sometimes?
Yeah, Thursday nights or Friday mornings.
Yeah, okay. We'll have to get you, can't keep you too late, then you got to hit the sack. So no, then let's see here. So Tomahawk, rain, how did that affect your race?
Oh, I felt really good during the race. I just had a few issues that set me back.
Okay. How did your goggles hold up?
They were great. I love my Scott goggles.
Yeah. Did you use roll-offs or tear-offs?
Yeah, roll-offs.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's the way So, did you go with roll-offs expecting rain, or?
Yeah.
You did? Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I've been with roll-offs every single GNCC so far.
Oh, you have?
Yeah.
Yeah, they've kind of had crap weather this year, haven't
Yeah,
they?
yeah.
So people are complaining like, oh no, the national enduros are going to have forecasted for kind of be wet this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, look, guys, you've had pretty much perfect. Am I wrong? They've had pretty much perfect weather all season so far.
Yeah.
GNCCs have kind of had crap weather.
Yeah.
Maybe have you had a good race yet at the GN? Like,
Yeah.
yeah. Which one was it?
They've all been kind of like rainy on Saturday, and then
Yeah.
by the PM race on Sunday, there's just so many riders on the trail that it tacks up, and it's normally pretty good. But
it kind of had iffy weather on a lot of the GNCCs, and so it's about your due for kind of a nasty national enduro. So suck it up, let's go. But that's you, Nathan. I won't be there. So suck it up, Nathan. So we got Noah Clark here, the points leader in the AA. Looking to be a mud fest this weekend in Georgia. I like the perfect NEPG this year. LOL. So yes, indeed, Noah. So speaking of Noah and you, are you still keeping up with your YouTube stuff at all? Or I saw that you posted some race footage out there.
yeah, I'll be filming this weekend.
Oh, you will be?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. The GoPro
Yeah, it's
footage?
GoPro. Yeah.
Cool. And then what is your handle for YouTube?
It's Nathan Rector 385.
All one
Yeah.
thing? So Nathan Rector 385. Okay, cool. But yeah, and then Noah's been keeping it up. Has he given you any tips?
Oh yeah, I call him all the time.
You do?
Yeah.
So, and of course for Noah, it's Noah Clark 32. But no, good luck this weekend. That'll be interesting. And then you're hoping for a repeat. And then bump up some slouch kid named Noah off the top step, and you take the top step on the point series. Is that how? As long as you two stay top two, that's all that matters to me. All right, so don't go sabotaging them. We want them to finish and do well. All right, no, and then let's see what we can do about James getting on the third step. Right,
Yeah.
we don't want him since he's not quite Missourian. We don't want him on the top two. All right, no, but now but then that's in the AA class, right? And so you're just a step below Pro 2 then, right?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. And then, but for the GNCCs, which you've been consistently, well, you were in first recently. You've been running the 4-stroke A lights.
Yeah.
And that's because, how'd you pick that class?
I've rode 250A the last 2 years, and that class is just way more competitive. So I wanted to, and I was always about a 5th to 10th place guy.
Okay.
So I wanted to be in a class where I would be competing for the top spot.
For sure. And then what I was really kind of interested to see is like when it comes to the 4-stroke A lights, it's a pretty tight race for the top step there.
Yeah,
I mean,
it is.
you got literally, there's a 6th guy I was debating back and forth. Like, is he in the running? Right?
Yeah,
So, but there's one guy. Let's see if I got it up here still.
he's won the last 3.
Oh, I think
So-
it's 4, isn't it? Let's see here. Let's go back one. Sorry, people. This is journalism at its finest right here. 4-stroke A lights. So, but yeah, so he missed the first race. It's taking a sweet time. Okay, you're right. Okay, so yeah, missed the first one. 11th, 8th, 2, 1, 1, 1. So yeah, you're absolutely right. I was like, he's kind of a dark horse. You're like,
Yeah.
quick glance, you kind of dismiss him,
Yeah,
but then you're like, ooh, he's on a run.
yeah. As soon as we start getting drops, then it'll.
Is there drops?
Yeah,
Oh, there are.
yeah, there are
How many drops are there?
2 or 3.
Oh, there's that many. Oh, I didn't think they had drops because the National Enduros don't have drops.
Yeah, they do.
They do too. Oh,
Yeah.
okay, right on.
I just think it's the pro classes that don't get drops.
Oh, okay. That's what I'm thinking of then, because
Yeah.
I've asked that question before to those guys. So, but no. So, yeah, 111 is he's going to be some stiff competition there.
Yeah,
But then
sure.
between all the rest of you, there's I didn't know about this drop business here. So yeah, then looks like that would give a little more weight to Alex Luger there as well. But no, there's 6 guys that five guys that watch out.
Yeah.
So that's going to be interesting to follow. Well, all these classes are going to be interesting to follow. Question here from Jeremiah Morse. Nathan, will you be going?
Sprint.
I thought they rescheduled that for later, but I don't know. He's probably. Let me think here. Is there Sprint Enduro that weekend? But you're not doing
I haven't looked at the schedule.
here. I already asked you. Right, you were trying to go Team Marionville Power Sports.
Yeah.
Right, so it's gonna be like you're talking like you, James, and Cole. Right,
Mhm.
but
Team together.
yeah. Oh, okay.
So-
This like last year, the Missouri Mudders
Yeah.
was the sponsor for that
Mhm.
team. Do they have any say then? That like, hey, we kind of want James and Nathan. Looking forward to the snowshoe.
Yeah, definitely.
There's 2 types of people in this world: people that like snowshoe and those that don't.
Yeah.
And so you're in the camp that you like the fast roads,
Yeah.
the fire road, whatever, just hauling ass down the road.
Yeah.
You like that? Okay. Well, I'm on the other camp. Well, not that I've been to snowshoe, but some of that wide open stuff, I'm not that good at, and my pucker factor is not that high. So, but no, that'll be interesting one for you. Let's see what else do we got going on here. The rain. Oh, Hidden Valley. That was full gas. How'd you like racing
The
full
golf
gas?
course?
Yeah, the golf course.
Yeah, that place was awesome. It was. I mean,
I got
what's better than racing on a golf course?
I can't remember if it was a video or a photo your dad shared with us of you like launching off of a tee box.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that looks spooky because it's like sloping away, right? So it's
Yeah.
like doing the ski jump thing where you jump and then like you're just like they're never more than like 20 feet off the ground, but it's like for like 300 yards. They're like just because it slopes around just like you do. Is that kind of how it was jumping off that tee box and it was sloping away?
Yeah.
So you felt like you were just flying forever.
No, not a whole like very long at all, but not too long.
Well, I don't know if you guys were in tune when we interviewed Liam Draper. I'll be more than happy to ask him. Then hopefully he'll top racer.
Yep.
Hey, is this Steward Baylor?
Yep.
Hey, this is Charlie Hawkins, and I'm more.
No, from riding just now.
Yeah.
Rode until I couldn't see anymore.
The what now?
Just got done riding. Rode until I couldn't see anymore.
Oh, there you go. That's the best way. Now, so Nathan was telling me he stayed at your place. So back right before the first the first National Enduro. How? And then you said you were a decent host. Would you agree with that, Stewart?
Yeah, I mean, I'm an asshole. Oh wait, yeah, I'm a good host.
Yeah, he had a good time, and then he enjoyed coming out to your place. So
Yeah, it took him a while to dig his bike out, if I remember
Oh
correctly.
yeah.
what's this about, Nathan?
Oh, I buried my bike in a sand pit.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
You're not supposed to do that.
No. The skid
Day
steer.
one, buried her to the bars in a silt pond.
Oh, it's a silt pond.
Oh yeah, silt
Oh,
pond.
the
Yeah.
worst. That's that's some major quicksand there.
Yeah. Even the skid steer had trouble getting it out.
Oh, seriously.
Yeah.
So is it Stu? Is that okay to call you that, Stu, or
Yeah.
Steward? All right. So you are. Oh, I didn't update that. You are on Tely Energy KTM USA team. How is it racing for Tely Energy and the team that you and your brother and
Liam.
Liam, and then
Chief Raper. No, it's good. You know, it came about at the right time. In 2016, we talked about it, and basically my new boss came up to me and said, "Hey, you know, I want to start a pro racing team. What would it take?" And I said, "A lot of money."
there you go.
and he was really interested. We had a lot of sponsors that I've worked with previously jump on board. A lot of good guys backing us, and you know, of course, with the addition of Grant, that kind of sweetened up the deal. His whole thing was, you know, I'd like to get both of you guys. They thought it was pretty cool to have two brothers that are not just national but also world champions. And he said, you know, I had to go all in with it, so that's what we did. And you know, it was a quick decision for me. It was an easy decision for me. It gave me a lot of freedom that otherwise you wouldn't have within the industry. And you know, number one is freedom of speech. Although in the U.S. we're supposed to have freedom of speech, if you have any employer in the U.S., you are not allowed to actually open your mouth and speak your own opinion. So, and I'm not for that. You know, I like to say exactly what's on my mind, and you know, sometimes it may be too much, but Todd, the boss man, he never really cares, so it's all good.
Yeah, and that's one thing about you, Stu, that I've always enjoyed following you on Instagram. I'll say, is well, first of all, I can't have the kids around, but usually when I do Instagram, it's always on mute, right? Like, yeah, I kind of know what a dirt bike sounds like, all that. But whenever I come across, especially your stories, like, all right, I better go someplace private, unmute it, because I want to hear what Stu has to say, because it's your entertainment factor is huge. I really enjoy what you do, and I really appreciate, you know, you don't hold back, and you just kind of we get Stu, right? It's not like company Stu. It's just you, and I feel like that's a cool deal, and you don't really just to see that just a whole lot anymore. So yeah, I think because of that, you do have a lot more people that actually are on your camp than you would drive away. Now maybe the sponsors, who knows? But as far as the me's out there, I guess no, I appreciate it. So, but that's
Yeah,
pretty
you know,
cool.
I guess what I've kind of come to find is you know, if you look at the industry as a whole, it's a very small industry.
Yeah.
There is no room for somebody that's different in the industry's eyes. They don't enjoy different. If you look at any other industry, whether it be boxing, wrestling, football, baseball, basketball, anything, there are so many different personalities. The highest paid athletes in the world aren't the highest paid athletes in the world because they're the same as everybody else. They're the highest paid athletes in the world because there's somebody different. There's somebody real. There's somebody that says what they want, whether it be wrong or right. And you know, it sets themselves aside, and it may set themselves into one group in particular. I guess my group would be the real people of the world, the people who agree that that they want to have fun on their dirt bike, that Ryan Dungey is boring to watch ride, and even more boring to watch an interview.
Yeah.
And those are the guys that I feel that most of the guys in our industry are somewhere tied into the construction side or hunting, fishing, and everybody has a beer in their hand after Sunday. So, I do all three of those. I run a dozer, that feels like 8 days out of the week. Obviously, there aren't 8 days in the week. But, on top of that, deer season, I take the entire deer season to drink beer and sit in a deer stand.
Yep.
And I put on 30 pounds a year, like a big old grizzly bear hibernating. And then, but we still do the job. But I don't know, in my opinion, you get your day done. And if you get your day done, if you want to get drunk every night, you can, as long as you're still putting in the results. And that's kind of where, I am with it. Like I don't know. You're only young once. And personally, I'm 24 and trapped in the body of a 40-year-old already with arthritis, blown out knees, messed up shoulders. And by the time I'm 30 and retired, I honestly I won't ever get to enjoy my childhood. So I'm taking every advantage I can while I can still walk and do stupid stuff.
There you go. Speaking of that, your knee, like beginning of this season, you had kind of a semi-major injury. How's your knee doing now?
Oh, it's absolutely trashed.
It is.
Sorry, I'm trying to speak clean. I was going to say the F word, but yeah, it is absolutely, it's gone. It pops in and out throughout the races, but I guess my entire injury or career, I've ridden with injury.
Yeah.
It's more mind over matter, and with the help of my trainer, like we've learned how to cope with it, and I've had to change my diet a little bit. I can't drink as much beer leading up to the race because it promotes swelling, so I have to step back and pick up a bottle of Crown. But it's tough. Sorry, I'm going to try to make this interview as entertaining as possible.
Oh, we want entertainment. Yeah. That's so.
Yeah.
So okay. Speaking of that, Matt Van Dyke has a question here. He says, "How many Irish car bombs will Evan Smith do before Sunday?"
Oh, I guarantee if I went down to Evans at this point right now, we could have at least a good 16 Irish car bombs by the end of the night.
Just tonight. Okay. All right. So that's on pace for like 100. No. And then Liam Draper, I think you may know who that is.
Liam Draper, the sheep raper. Everybody knows him.
Exactly. That's the guy. Ask him. He wants to know how your deer season was with him last summer or last year.
Well, I took Liam deer hunting. And for anybody that's a hunter, Liam came from New Zealand that has red stag, and he came over here and he's like, he's very confused as to what's a good deer and what's a bad deer.
Okay.
So very trigger happy, wanted to shoot everything. And then I talked him out of it. I had it's the land. It's the Midwest Extreme Park. I'm sure in your area you're familiar with it. I lease out there from Bill Graham every year, and I think I'm going on 7 years out there, and we've got some unbelievable world class bucks. And I keep a close eye on it and try to let the younger ones keep growing. And it's been a killer place. So. Finally, later in the week, we haven't shot anything. We've seen a lot of nice young deer that I wouldn't let him shoot. The last day, I was helping Bill out, move some equipment, and we caught the skid steer on fire.
Oh.
And Liam was driving the tractor behind me. I'm in the skid steer, and the thing's on fire, and it locks up. The remote override would not work, and was a glass door, and the bucket was up and I couldn't get out. So I'm at a full panic as I see flames coming out behind me, behind the the escape hatch, which would have been the cheaper window to break. I think the door was 1,800 and that was 200. But anyways, ended up kicking the door out. As I did, I had so much forward momentum. I hit the bucket, tripped over it, and rolled out. Here I am, 240 pounds. My fat ass was rolling out on the ground real quick. Like, Liam's got a rock in his hand that he's about to bash the windshield. Turn around, and this was the last day, so I'm pretty frustrated. I'm running the numbers, and I was like, man, I should have just jumped through the fire. I wish I would have been thinking a little more clearly and picked the cheaper window instead of the front door to bust out of the skid steer. And we get the skid steer back. We push it back over to the barn with a tractor, and trying to figure out what kind of damage I did to that. And I was like, you know what? We'll never make good decisions sober. So we headed to the liquor store. The only reasonable thing to do at that point. And,
naturally.
I introduced Liam to Crown Vanilla, a half gallon of Crown Vanilla, as a matter of fact. And we decided that we wanted to go deer hunting, but we decided it was a good idea that we sat in a ground blind because, climbing up a ladder probably wasn't the safest or smartest idea at that point.
Let alone handling firearms. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It was one of those days. And luckily, I believe we had a bow and arrow. So, we were doing it. I don't know. I'm not really sure, but about midway through the hunt, we hear something, and you can't really see that great out of the ground blind. So Liam, after way too much Crown, decides that he doesn't like that ground blind anymore. So he stands up, rips the ground blind off the top of us, and takes off after one of these deer. And he thinks that he's going to Rambo this thing. And I, honestly, at that point, I was very frustrated with this moron. But then I realized, like, this is Liam Draper, the sheep raper. Like, he claims he was trying to push that sheep through the fence, but he had his pants down. I don't know. I second guess everything he does. So, at that point, I was just like, you know what? It's Liam. It doesn't bother me. And he sits back down in the chair, and a nice buck comes right up to us. I mean, it saw us, and it was confused, and it had to have been retarded. I don't know. It must be something in the Missouri water. No offense.
Point taken.
I got some buddies out there from Missouri, like Brian Larimore. I think you might know him.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's got to be something in the water out there. You guys are just a little bit behind, maybe. I don't know. Or maybe it's just him. I really don't know. I don't want to judge everybody out there, but the Missouri guys that I've met, I mean, you guys don't have a good rap. You got him, and then Rector, who's putting it silt pond the first day he's here. It's not looking good for you guys out there.
No, yes, you're kind of preaching to the choir here. Hey, but no. So you ended up getting the buck, or no?
No.
It came right up to you. You didn't Rambo it?
He came right up to us, and it was after hours, and I picked up my flashlight and I chased him down on foot, and I got right up to him, and I turned around and I looked at Liam, and I didn't know what to do at that point. I was like, this retarded deer is not moving. I mean, I ran right up to the deer, but long story short, I think that deer knew that we were in no shape or form to kill him, and
yeah. So another question here from Jeremiah Morris was: are you better with the bow for hunting fish or deer?
Oh, I'm good at shooting fish. I make some pretty stupid shots. I'm an excellent shot bow fishing, and I have a lot of fun doing it. Okay. Deer hunt there's a lot of skill and a lot of luck and a lot to know about the woods. And I feel like I've got a lot of skill and I know a lot about the woods, but I don't have a lot of luck.
Oh, yeah.
I see a lot of big deer, and every year I'm out there, I see 160 inch plus. I've actually got a 200 inch on camera on the Kansas line out there at 60 yards, and just never could get a shot on him. But I've got a lot of skill at seeing deer. I just don't have any skill at actually making it count making it count when it matters, I guess. And last year I stuck a really good one out there, 156-inch deer out at Midwest Extreme, and I think it's been 4 years since I've shot a deer, so I've just been watching them a lot, just been waiting on the right one, and I haven't seen the right one, but we've seen some good ones.
Okay.
Oh man, I'm getting text messages. Start talking shit on Brian.
Oh, Brian Larimore. So another question here is, what would you drink if you were allergic to beer? Vanilla Jack Daniels?
Oh me, if I was allergic to beer, I honestly don't know that I would still be alive. I mean, we just have to cut it short. You know what I'm saying?
There you go.
No, I would definitely choose Crown Royal.
Crown
Vanilla. I can drink it straight. I don't even need it chilled. I don't need a mixer. I don't need to cut it, make it weak. I mean, like a 3-year-old girl could drink that stuff straight. That stuff's good.
Vanilla. Now you're not 21, Nathan, but have you tried Vanilla Crown Royal?
I have not.
I can't say I have either. I might have to go get a half gallon of it and see what happens.
Nathan, don't lie just because you're on here, bud.
Your mom's not listening. We swear.
Your mom is not going to listen. It's okay. You can admit I was a terrible host out here. And actually, I don't remember. I don't know if he drank with us or not, but I'm trying to get him in trouble. I might as well stir the pot while he's on there.
Yes, absolutely. Please do.
What would be even better is if we had Logan Lowry on.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. I can really bust his balls. It rubs him in the wrong way. He gets really upset.
I imagine he gets beat red about it too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's terrible. He doesn't know what to do. I mean, because beat red, like beat red. I got him to drink a beer. This needs to be public. I got Logan Lowry to drink a beer.
Oh, there you go.
One beer.
He was on the floor.
One beer. And he said that he didn't like it, and he never wanted to drink another beer in his life. So maybe I did a good thing for him. I don't know.
I only see him drinking gallons of milk after every race, or chocolate milk.
Gallons.
Gallons.
Yeah, like to the point he has to be getting sick.
Yeah, I see him after these races carrying this. Yeah, like just the huge here. And if you can, I just posted up to people that are watching. That is Steward from 2018. What it says here of you with a huge deer with a big hedge apple. I don't know if you remember that photo or not.
Yeah.
But so that's the 158-inch one that you killed?
Yeah, 156 and a quarter, I believe, is where he measured out, something like that.
That thing is a beast.
Yeah.
So, well done there. And then I had another question from Matt Van Dyke. He wants to know, he says, what about the night Drew Murphy got kidnapped by the dude in the purple Charger in the Fats parking lot?
No, I think I've heard about this.
Does that's gibberish to me, but can you enlighten us on that?
I promise. Bad things seem to follow me or happen. I don't know. I wish I could enlighten you on what happened here, but it was let's just call it a bad night. I mean, how do you get kicked out of Fats Cafe? Actually, I know exactly how you do. You go to the bar with Matt Van Dyke, who likes to order everybody Irish car bomb after Irish car bomb after Irish car bomb. And then, like I said, you only make good decisions when there's alcohol involved. And some people just don't. Like I personally, I make my best decisions when I'm a little under the influence. Like
you would have definitely knocked out the emergency hatch window, jumped through the flames, right? Instead of knocking out the door window.
Yeah. And so some people like Drew Murphy, or Drool, as we now know him, because he gets so drunk he drools on himself. He decided that he wanted to get in a fight with the waitress, get kicked out by the manager. As he's leaving, he lost something. I can't remember what he lost. He got in this guy's car. This is what happened. He got in this guy's. It was a purple Charger, he gets in there and he's just talking to this random guy. When he leaves his phone in the guy's car. We go back to the restaurant. There's a purple Challenger pulling out. So he bails on this guy's hood. Turns out this guy was not the same guy. And this guy was like scary, like neck tats and a gun on the side. And he's laying on this guy's hood. He jumps out. He happened to be one of the chefs for Fats, and he almost got shot. Well, then he turns on Find My iPhone, goes to the middle of the hood, and pulls up at this house, hammered drunk, not knowing what's going on, and decides that he wants to jump out and start yelling, "You stole my phone, you stole my phone." Luckily, the guy, who later we found out was a drug dealer, was actually really nice. And Drew just randomly got in the guy's car and left his phone there. I don't know. I was in bed. This all went down at like 4 a.m. I wake up the next morning to this crazy story, and I don't even know how real or how true it is. You would actually have to ask Matt for the full story, but I mean, I guess they go out and there's all these guys running around with guns, and Drew comes out screaming, "I want my phone! You stole my phone!" And may have called him some very bad names, and somehow he's still alive. But
just a little bit of a drool, but still alive.
Yeah. So no, we've got some. I'm telling you, bad things happen around me. I have no influence over these things. They just seem to happen. Like things like Liam, like it's uncontrollable situations that, I wish they were avoidable, but for some reason they always seem to find me.
Well, okay. So along the Liam Draper line, he wants you to share with us his first night with you.
Oh gosh. Are you guys just trying to find out exactly how I am?
Yeah.
I mean,
yes.
I can't not share these stories. And, I hope the sponsors that are listening to this are listening to it with an open mind and realizing that I'm not just a professional athlete. I'm a normal person too.
Nobody listens to this show anyways. It's all right.
Perfect. Well, anyways, I'm sure my grandparents are, and I hope they're not listening to all these stories. I hope they decided they didn't want to hear any more by now. But so Liam comes out, and we take him out the night after the Sumter Enduro, and I had a really good day. I won the Enduro. We went down to downtown Columbia, and we're out at the bars. Oh, wait, this wasn't after Sumter, was it? So Liam never drank before, like ever. And this wasn't after Sumter. It was after a race, and we had a good weekend. So we went down to have a good time, blow off some steam, and then party like college kids. And it was right after, I can tell you when it was. It was right after Big Buck when I blew my teeth out, because I ended up losing my tooth that night.
No.
Yes. So it starts out, we're out at a club, and all the kids are waiting in line. I showed Liam the fast way in. You slip the bouncer $100 and you walk in. And we walk up top, and I'm dancing, and I lose my tooth. And I look at one of the bouncers, and I'm like, he's wondering why I'm crawling around, and he thinks that I'm drunk trying to kick me out. And I was like, "No, man, I'm looking for my tooth." And he goes, "What?" And I smile at him, and he just loses his mind right there. So I get all the bouncers around me with their flashlights, and we're looking for my tooth. I'm crawling around. I find my tooth. Liam still claims that I took it off the floor and put it back in, but I'm pretty sure I put it in my pocket. And anyways, I never did find my tooth. Whether I put it in my mouth or my pocket one, it never turned back up after that. We leave the club, and one of the kids with us decides he wants to start talking to some chick, and I guess her boyfriend saw it, and he wasn't being harmful. He was just way drunk, and they're out running their mouths back and forth. And then
and I'd already called the Uber. The Uber's on the way. The cops are sitting there watching these kids go back and forth, basically waiting for somebody to throw a punch. And it all blew off. And then the Uber shows up. We're walking to the Uber, and these kids start yelling at us across the street. And at that point, now I'm getting a little aggravated because they're yelling at me and they're calling me names. So I tell Liam and the other guys, I say, hey, go to the truck. I'm going to take care of this. Well, the kid that originally started it, he wanted to take care of it too. So he's over there running his jaws, and they're going back and forth. I'm trying to drag him off, and then they started directing their comments toward me, and they called me a pussy, and I just wasn't about it. And I knocked the kid out. As I did, I tripped over my own feet, fell on the ground, got back up, got another kid, and it was basically an all-out brawl. I look up, and Liam is running to the Uber. The cops are running at me, and I'm grabbing my boys and saying, let's get to the Uber quick. I throw the Uber a $20 bill and say, go now. And that was Liam's first impression of me.
And not much has changed, I imagine.
I've tried to clean up. I'm a married man now. I can't be the same guy.
Yeah.
Right. No, yeah, so Liam loves to bring that one up. Getting in a bar fight the first night he meets me, and not only that, but the kid didn't even know what beer was. So over there they call it piss, or maybe they do actually drink piss. I don't know, but they say, oh yeah, getting on the piss, mate.
There you go. And then the other thing, Liam, was I think he alluded to this last time. How many people go swimming involuntarily when you go bow fishing?
I've been in quite a few times involuntarily, and then I've jumped in a few times. And every time that Liam's done it, he's chosen to do so. He just sees a fish in the water, and he's not a very good shot, so he just jumps in with his face.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Usually those are the crown nights. I'll give him that. I mean, he's not quite in his right mind, but he likes to bail off face first because he can't hit the fish with an arrow. So not only do we have 5 bows going off, but we have a Liam jumping in the water too. So if you're a little bit slow to shoot, there's a good chance you might hit Liam.
Yeah, okay. Have you ever been bow fishing, Nathan?
Yeah, I have. I have.
You have?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's with Stu or?
No, with Travis Renaud.
Oh, okay. Be careful. Stu might shoot you. No,
I'm not jumping in.
No. All right. Well, that's. Thank you for sharing those stories. I just wanted to ask you a little bit. But so, in the GNCCs and the National Enduros, how are those going for you this year, and what's some of the highlights for you this year?
They're both going well. My worst finish all year long was the 4th place. So, with that, I think I'm having a really solid season as far as points go. I'm 3rd in GNCCs and leading the National Enduros. And, I think this weekend could separate things, or it could tighten things up a lot. You never know. The weather that we're seeing in Georgia this weekend, it could be an absolute mess. They're calling maybe upwards of 4 inches, in some areas as much as 6 inches. And I think this weekend's I think it's either gonna set me aside and put me where I need to be, or it could completely reverse things and put Russ right back in the lead, or have somebody else jump up there. So, it's this the weekend I think, the 3rd race for the National Enduros to really set yourself aside. But GNCCs, I've been really consistent. Obviously we had a really good round 1, and aside for that, I've been 2nd, 3rd, 4th the rest of the time. And there's been a lot of little mishaps. We've had some clutch issues. I've had
How did you break your throttle tube this past weekend?
I just clipped a tree.
Huh.
I clipped a tree and it jammed dirt. Oh, I just got a text that man, people just want me to bash on people on here. Jeez, I'm telling you. You know who it is? It's all these Missouri guys.
They're the worst.
Oh man. But no, anyways, I clipped a tree and it just barely bent the end of the throttle tube, but it bent it right up against the bar. And it was to the point like I literally couldn't hardly twist the throttle. So we pulled in. I'd already lost a decent amount of time. I think leader XE2 was actually right behind me physically on the track at that point. And then we changed it out. I got back going. Took 2.5 minutes, but by that point I was I think maybe 14th, 13th, 14th in XE2.
Yeah.
And I believe as we came in, they checked on live feed, and I was outside the top 30. But it was actually after all the A riders came in, I was outside the top 50 or 60 overall. So I made a really hard charge back up to the front, and I think it was one of those weekends where if I would have been with those guys on their lines, it could have been a different outcome. But still, I guess a third place, and after the circumstances, I think it was good. But we've just had a lot of days like that. Ohio was another one where I was leading. Ashburn and I had a really good gap on the rest of the field, and I ended up losing almost 3 minutes on a hill climb on the second lap, and went from 220 down to 125 down in the same lap, and then the following lap went from 125 to 40 seconds, and the next lap went from 40 seconds to 20 seconds, and I could see the lead group. And by that point, I was just so tired from that push. I couldn't bring it home. But there's been a lot of days where I feel like, another one was Camp Coker. We had a rough start to that day, and ran the leaders. I was running the fastest laps all day and ran the leaders back down. Just never could quite close the gap and get up there with them. But it's just been there's been a lot of little things, and it's just been a frustrating season at this point.
Yeah. Well, but you've been doing consistent. You never had any major mishaps, and so you've been running pretty well, and so you're in a good spot in a lot of them, especially the national enduros, obviously. But no, so that's all good. So 100-miler, you've done it a couple times now, but we've missed you these past 2 years. Any chance that you'll be getting back down our way come the weekend after Thanksgiving?
I'm not really sure. Last year I was going to actually go run it, and I was getting married right a couple weeks after that, so things just didn't work out. I'd just gotten back from ISD. I had too much on my plate. But if I can get a 2-stroke, I really would like to run that race. At this point, I need a 2-stroke. I tried it on the 450 last year, and I killed it in the first moto. But even prior to that event, I did some rock testing, and I'd blown up a bike that week just doing stuff like what you'll encounter in the night moto. And I think it was $2,200 in parts to rebuild that 450 after that little mishap there. But no, I really enjoy that race, and I'd love to come back for it as long as it's not 24 degrees during the main, which obviously would mean.
Yeah,
but,
absolutely.
Honestly, it was 31 degrees the year that I won it, and when you were coming up something special, 31 degrees felt amazing.
Yes,
because you were miserable. It was you were still sweating, but as soon as you crested the top of the hill and got in the field track, your sweat, I swear, turned to ice going across that field.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, are you still doing any riding schools? Because I think last I checked, seemed like 2 years ago, you did one at the Midwest Extreme Park. Are you still doing any of those, or no?
I'm more focused on the racing right now. I've thought about it. Missouri is probably one of my biggest states that I'd like to do some more riding schools at. I haven't had the time, and when I do, I'm focused on deer season, so it's been tough. But we're starting. I've been building this training facility with my uncle, and basically for the last 2 years, that's kind of been something that's on our minds, and now it's everything's coming together with this facility. So at this point, the major goal is to get this facility up and running, and I'll be doing riding schools there, but I won't be a full-time trainer until I'm retired. But that's kind of the goal is we're going to have a trainer there that's going to help me and all the other riders that we have. But basically there's Club MX, MTF, SOB, there's Matt Walker's, all these places to go if you're a moto rider, but there's nothing catered towards off-road. And granted, we have a supercross track and 2 moto tracks. We've got a lot of off-road riding there, rocks and some good creek bottom stuff, some sandy sections. We've got a little bit of everything. So it'll be a really good facility. And I think it's going to be tough to get the drawing that we need the first couple of years, which is why I'd like to try to get this thing up and going while I'm still racing, so that I'm not relying on that for my major income. But, I think I'll probably try to race another 4 years and then really focus on the riding schools and the facility as soon as the career starts to slow down.
Yeah, and is that in South Carolina?
Yep, it's in South Carolina.
Okay, you just have to put a few extra tough blocks around the silt ponds, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we the same silt pond, D-Raper, the sheep raper, decided to put a mini X in there, and it took like 3 hours of me digging him out with the skid steer. It was probably only an hour and a half, but it felt like 3.
Yeah,
digging circles around him.
It makes a good fishtail.
Yeah, there's just too many morons around. I surround myself with slow people. Not slow on the bike, but slow in
mentally.
the head.
Yeah. Like Nathan here, right? No,
exactly.
So Nathan, you're in good company with Liam then.
Yeah.
So, cool. And then, what's the best way to follow you? I mentioned Instagram earlier. Is that the as far as your activities, is that the number one way you would say?
Yeah, I don't post a ton on Facebook. Everything's more Instagram for me. I think I've got my accounts linked so that you can see whatever I post on Instagram to my Facebook. But Instagram's where I basically put everything up, my rants and sometimes even a drunk night or two. But I try to make it look like I'm an athlete, so I post things like dirt bikes and bicycles.
Yeah, and that's SL Baylor 5 is your handle there. And then, So I think it was you. You took a video at a gas station of a guy putting 87 octane, or is it 91 octane into his diesel?
Yeah.
Did you tell him that what he was doing?
I did tell him what he was doing.
Okay.
A lot of people messaged me and they're like, "Dude, you are such a dick for letting him do that." I did poke my head out and let him know that that was gas and not diesel. And he looked at me like I was stupid. So I walked around to the back of the truck to see the exhaust to see if it was a diesel, and it was a diesel. He just apparently didn't like what I said and continued on with his day. So
a few miles down the road.
Yeah. And afterwards, he was one of the people that left his truck at the pump for like 30 minutes. So he deserved it.
It's called karma, right?
Yeah. He's one of those guys. So, yeah. Yeah, but no, I see a lot of stupid stuff. So
well, when you travel as far and wide as you do, I guess you probably come around quite a bit of it.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Are you going to the ISDE this year?
I'm not allowed to say at this point, if that answers your question.
Okay, because you did post an Instagram post that you're training, and if by chance you do happen to go, do me a favor, don't lead Nathan too far astray. All right. So Nathan, he qualified 2 weeks ago, and so he's going to be going. And
I'm guaranteeing that Nathan either gets on the wrong arrows for the wrong day or shows up to a test a minute early.
There you go. But anyways, and then before we let you go, is there any sponsors that you would like to give a shout out to?
Yeah, Tely Racing, KTM, Moose Racing, Shoei, CD, Forma Boots, Kenda Tires, Cinch Graphics, Flex Bar, Spectro, SRT, G2, Seat Concepts. Man, I got a ton of guys behind me. If anybody wants to know all the stuff I run, I usually try to post about it. So everything I run is I believe it to be the best. You know, I get freedom of choosing the sponsors that I work with, and the reason I work with all of them. So check out my Instagram and you can see all the guys that we're working with. But all really great companies.
Absolutely. Well, Stu, thank you very much for taking the time to talk with us. I appreciate it. Enjoy the stories, and you have been my number one racer since. Well, honestly, my first race I ever went to was 2014, the 100-miler. I was a spectator there, and you won that year. And ever since then, I've been a Stu Baylor fan, and nothing's changed since then. And pretty much every time I hear you, see you, or do whatever, you just kind of reaffirm my opinion in a positive way of you. And so I just want to say thank you for being you and having fun doing it and showing people that there is, it's fun to be a pro racer, because that's what I see when I see you. So thank you, and I hope to talk to you in the future, okay?
All right, sounds good. Thanks, man.
All right, bye.
See ya.
Well, that was fun.
Yeah, it was.
So, no, thank you guys out there. He was my hero too. So Liam says he was my hero too until I met him. So, but no, thank you guys out there. Thank you, Liam. Thank you, Matt Van Dyke, Jeremiah. 713 Motor Racer. Rusty, for just your input and your comments and everything like that, and also JT for sharing the photo of that big buck that Stu managed to slay. So yeah, like I said, it's not just the two of us, or when Stu's the three of us. It's the whole community. So it makes the fun show. So anyways, we talked a little bit with Stu about the GNCC at Tomahawk, and yeah, he was saying how he ran a solid third place. Ben Kelly never quite got back around. Ben Kelly. That's one thing I wanted to ask him. Kind of just ran out of time with him, and but I was curious how hard do you think it is to kind of get back around those guys, right? Because they're not ready for lap traffic yet.
Yeah.
And they're still battling in their own class. And here's this guy, and of course is there more opportunities to pass there, or did it get pretty wide with the conditions?
Yeah, it was about 50 yards wide.
No, okay. So maybe not that big of a challenge like it would be around here.
Yeah.
No, okay. And then, because Ben Kelly, he ended up winning XC2. And then Nick Davis, who did his first GNCC of this season at least, won XC3. And then Taylor Jones won the XCW class. So, and of course you, sixth in the lights.
4-stroke A lights.
4-stroke A lights. I got my thing all kinds of jacked up here. And then but no, quite a weekend for everybody there. This weekend, you're heading out east. We had until a few hours ago, we had the Missouri Hare Scramble spare parts race going on here locally. Arkansas Hare Scramble, I don't know if that's still going on or not, but that's this weekend as well. And Ford Motion is also probably, if it's like it was last week, it's probably rained out as well. That's going to be Beer Ranch West. And then OMA is having their third race. And then do you follow the American Hard Enduro Series at all, Nathan? No? So I believe their third round is going to be, I think it's called Fallen Timbers. So pre-registration is opened up yesterday for people out there that may be interested in that. So if Hard Enduro is your thing and you've been following the series, so go over to American Hard Enduro, they got some information over there that on the Facebook page, and then they'll have a link there to that if that's your thing. So now I asked you, did you follow any of the Erzberg stuff that happened this last weekend, or you're just too busy probably doing your own race, weren't you?
Yeah.
So, how old's your dad?
42.
42. So he's 2 years younger than Graham Jarvis. So could you imagine your dad at his age, young age, winning a race like that? Is that insane?
Yeah.
I mean, so people that may not know, Graham Jarvis, 44 years old, super stud. I mean, he's mad skills. He's not the fastest guy in the world, but he is a guy of attrition, right?
Yeah.
Like when it gets hard, he gets going, and he's not super fast about it, but he just goes. And so years ago. Oh, so this is Rusty Shackelford here saying, Nate, I battled with you 3 years ago at a one-day Shane Watts school. It's cool to see your speed skyrocket since then. So, do you know who that is? It's Rusty Shackelford's a pseudonym, but
Yeah.
you know
I
who
think
that
I
is?
read. Yeah.
So, so you've been to Shane Watts school?
Yeah.
I've heard good things about it. What's your opinion of it?
They're one of my favorite.
Yeah. So,
been
did you
to-
go? Did you go to like his facility, or he come somewhere kind of closer by, or what?
No,
how did that
it
work?
was there's a hillbilly at the place that we went to. I forget the name of the place, but
Okay.
it was somewhere in Missouri.
It was.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because now that I'm at a point now. Well, there's never a time where you're not really ready to go to a school, right? But to me, it was like, I don't know. I didn't really see the value of it when I was just starting out. I do now. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
So I've found the stuff, a few things that I know was doing wrong, right? Don't sit so far back on the seat. Get your butt closer to the tank. Form stuff like that. Corners. It's all about corners. But I'm like, what then, right?
Mhm.
And I think a lot of that, and look with Stu, stuff like that, is it can really, few things here and there, can really, I mean, correct if I'm wrong, but can really help you.
Yeah.
And unless somebody's out there watching, knows what they're doing, and is good at training, you may not find, or you may be teaching yourself the wrong thing.
Yeah.
I mean, would you say that?
Mhm.
Yeah. But so yeah, Shane Watts, cool. Louisa Dairy Farm was where that was. So yeah, we've raced there only a few times. The
Yeah.
Icy Mutter this last winter. Were you there for that?
No, I wasn't.
You did not miss a race there. It was a good one to miss. But no, it was memorable, but not fun at the time. But no, so yeah, the GNCC or the Erzberg, that is crazy. And then so Mitch I'm gonna mess this up. Mitch Carvalth. Yeah, Carvalth was the top American dude. Dang it. Cody Webb is the guy like I root for
Yeah.
when it comes to the hard enduro stuff. And that guy went and hurt his knee Tuesday, Tuesday before the race. And so I was like, and I was, it was almost obvious that he wasn't going to be in any kind of shape to race, and it turned out it wasn't. He tried his hardest, but he was like in the third row, I think, off the start. You're done, right? If you're going to do any good, second row at worst, and you cannot be in the third row, but off the start. But no, that was quite a thing there. And then Ryan Sipes, he actually made it just as almost the same checkpoint, but Mitch got there first. But we did have a North American. We'll adopt Tristan Hart for the week as an American here. He's kind of like we adopt James King as a Missourian because he was the only guy in the Western Hemisphere, North America, South America, to finish Erzberg. So congratulations to you. Cody House says that was the race of the year. What you talking about? So I imagine Cody is talking about the Icy Mutter. It was like a lot of things. Like for example, 2015 Hunter Miler. Were you there by chance?
No, I wasn't.
Dude, you and Hunter Milers don't really like see eye to eye, do you?
Yeah.
So that's like 35 degrees and rainy, stuff like that. Miserable races, absolutely miserable races. But those are the ones you remember. I mean, what would be your number one miserable but you remember race?
There's been a few.
Okay, well, you got one?
Oh, this past weekend, Tomahawk. That was
That was?
Yeah,
It's up there?
yeah.
Did it get, I mean, did it get deep? What made it so nasty?
It's just slick, like no traction at all.
Really?
Like in the grass tracks, like
No?
no traction.
Ooh, yeah. And you guys are good at that
Yeah.
stuff. Can't imagine somebody like me being out there. It'd not be pretty. But no. So,
And it's just crazy that in the grass track that it gets 50 yards wide. Like
yeah.
it,
Do they have stakes and people trying to, do like stakes just get,
they just get
forget
ripped
about
out.
it?
Yeah.
Whatever. We're kind of heading in this general direction.
Yeah.
Huh. Wow. No. So was it like a hard packed clay kind of ground, or what was it?
That and rock.
And rock?
Yeah.
It's one or the other. The other way, it's slick.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, no. So, any other parting words of wisdom before we call it a day?
No.
No. Well, if you're out there, I do have a parting word of wisdom. These bad boys here. So, what this is, for those of you that are still watching, this is a sticker. It says Y Rush Racing, little helmet, little microphone there. If you're a co-host with me, or I think you're pretty cool, I may give you one of these. Nathan obviously qualifies for that. Otherwise, I'm gonna sell them. I'm having at races that I'm at. $2. I'll set out a little bucket if you guys want them for your bike, helmet, whatever. And then I'll set up a link on Facebook or something. If you PayPal me with your address, I'll mail them to you. It'd be $3 for me to mail it. $2 if I see you at a race. But I think that, just kind of way to get the word out and just spread the love and yeah, have fun with it. So anyways, yeah, remember, share Instagram, or share, like, comment, all that stuff. Thank you very much for doing that. I do appreciate it. It helps bump up the searches or whatever when people search for Y Rush Racing or Enduro Talk. And then outside of that, this is Charlie Hawkins. That's Nathan Rector. And we'll see you guys next week. Bye.